Coach, would you like to open with any statements?
Nope.
Coach, on a good winning streak here, and talk a little bit about the toughness of this team, particularly those last two road games. You had to really get up off the deck, particularly against Rice.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've shown that all year. I think the ability to play with toughness and defend and respond to different situations. The guys have been really good. It's tough to win on the road, man, wherever you are. Doesn't matter. We played against a couple of, one team like, UTSA, very quick and in transition and very aggressive that way. So we had to play a certain way to take that away. And then Rice, obviously, just very disciplined and very desperate. We didn't come out very good. But, man, did the guys respond and knuckle down and like you said, show some toughness to come back and get the win.
Coach, it seems like your defense is playing well, too. Can you talk a little bit about that for us? And maybe to Sean, how does that affect your team? How can you play off of that as far as on defense?
I think it's just a toughness thing. Like, every day we come into practice and defend hard, defend each other hard, defend the other team's actions. So I think if we continue to do that and play with the same level of intensity that we showed against FAU and the rest of the teams in our conference, I think we'll continue to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, we work very hard at that end of the floor for sure. I think if you want to be successful, you've got to be tough, and to be tough and to defend, you've got to be tough. So, I mean, they work hand in hand, and we coach it pretty hard. We hold them very accountable to our rules, and because rules build trust. Just doing your own thing doesn't. And so, we have certain ways that we want to defend, and we've done that pretty well here since we've been here in this program. And this group's no different, and they're doing a really good job, and we're just trying to get better at it every day, and make sure we stay on point on some things, because things can drop if you don't stay locked in. So that's always the challenge.
Coach, if I roll back a couple of weeks, we were talking about made threes, being away from wins, turning losses into wins. Has that been the difference, or have you found some other way to put some life in the team?
No, I think what we talked about is, like we've got to shoot the three ball better. Obviously DJ needs to do his part by playing inside and finishing around the rim, and we and the guards, the perimeter need to do their job to make shots to make life easier for him. And when we post up our guards, we've got to be able to keep the floor spread. So we've had some guys be able to knock down some shots, and we've tried to work a lot harder in that space, the last month, and some of that, it doesn't pay off sometimes right away. It takes a little bit of time, and we've been able to make some shots at the right time, but we obviously need to continue to do that. We're going to play against a very, very, very good defensive team tomorrow that's going to really make life difficult, and we need to do the same to them, and work it inside out, and I assume it'll be pretty physical and kind of slow pace probably, and a bit of a grindy, gritty, physical type of game, which great. We talk about having to be able to play the game different ways. We can play fast when we need to. We need to play really slow when we need to, and I think that's what, if you want to be a really good team, you've got to be able to do that.
Okay, statistically, you're very balanced as far as where your points are coming from. How does that play against a team like North Texas?
Well, I think it's going to be important that the guys play their roles really well. We need multiple contributors and guys to do their job, and because then it just makes it tougher to defend you. And when you're trying to defend all five guys on the floor, and we're starting to figure each out a little bit better every game we play, and we can go to different guys at different times, and the guys are very comfortable with that, and really starting to play some team ball, and we just talk about great things can happen when no one takes the credit. and when you believe in that, it's true.
North Texas got a player in Edwards that's coming in really, really hot, particularly in conference play. Are you going to have to do some special things against that, or will anybody have a offensive man-to-man assignment on him?
I mean, no, we'll defend him as a team. I mean, I think every team we've played against got some pretty special players. Just think about who we've played. There's got some really talented scorers on the other side of the ball, and you got to do the best job you can and make life as difficult as possible you can for those guys. Those guys kind of do what they do, no matter what you really try and do to stop them. It's just, the complementary pieces, you can't let those get off, those guys get off either and, make a big impact on the game. So we'll try and make it tough for them, but they got a lot of other pieces out there that are really, really good too.
Coach, over the last 4 games, Isaiah Folks has been starting each game, 2 of which Jackson Threadgill has been out due to injury. On the games that Threadgill is playing, are you still starting Folks because you're starting to see something within him, or is it that you're just kind of limiting Threadgill due to his injury? And if so, if you can speak on it, how is he doing throughout his injury process?
Yeah, I mean, Jackson had to deal with the back and then, a blow to the head. So, concussion stuff there we had to deal with him. It was great to have him back on the floor the other day. It just gives us more depth, and he's been a huge part of this program for a long time, and he's really valuable to this program. And Isaiah has slotted in there and done a really good job. I thought he was instrumental in turning the game the other day at Rice. And he's starting to get a bit of rhythm, and Jackson's such a team guy and very unselfish, and we'll just stay with it right now, but again, the guys have got to they got to perform, and pressure to perform, and there's a responsibility to perform. I talk about it all the time. It's just not okay just to be there. And so if guys don't understand that and wobble, well, there's other guys ready to go. So, it's obviously we've built a bit of momentum, and we'll try and keep riding that wave.
This question's for Deshaun. How have you liked, this Charlotte program so far and going to school here?
It's been pretty good. It's different from going to Washington State and dealing with snow every day in the cold weather. But honestly, I like it here a lot. It's sunny. The people here are very friendly, and I think just my team has really got me acclimated to be here. So I've enjoyed it.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'll go back to you, Deshaun, and kind of build off of this. You've got off to a pretty good start here with your career at Charlotte. How do you feel on the basketball court, and how do you feel like you're fitting in?
I feel like I'm fitting in pretty well. During the summer, we had some bumps in the road, and just with the things that I had to deal with, coming back from not playing a year, but I feel like the guys have pushed me, and the coaching staff has pushed me to be kind of a better player, because there's times where I doubt what I can do, and just the coaches instilling that confidence in me and showing me that I can do it even when I feel like I can't. So everybody's just been helping me.
This is for both of you. As you continue to win and people begin to look in the standings and see Charlotte close to the top, the expectations begin to rise among Niner Nation and other teams, maybe even take you a little bit more serious. How talk about dealing with those expanded expectations, let's put it that way.
I honestly feel like there is a sense of pressure, but in reality, we've always played with pressure, that pressure on us from our coaching staff and just the organization due to the fact that, they hired him as an interim head coach, and, he doesn't, fully have the job yet. So we've been playing for each other and just playing with a great sense of, team. We're playing for each other every day. So at the end of the day, there's always pressure, but I feel like pressure makes diamonds, and I feel like we've kind of shown that we can play with the best of them.
I mean, I love the pressure. I mean, good. That's what we do this for. You know, I've obviously had the opportunities to coach at a really high level, and there is pressure there to perform. There's an expectation and a responsibility to do it. I think you're a fool in this league if you underestimate anybody. And I know there's some chatter going around, oh, it's hard to get up for some games. Well, you're misinformed if that's how you think, because just look at the results of what's happened in this league. You know, 4 of the top 5 teams right now are former Conference USA teams, and like our league last year was really good. You got to be ready to play every night, anywhere in the country, and obviously you got to travel around this country a lot, this league a lot. So you've got to be on edge, and you've got to be sharp. You know, there's always a massive expectation to perform here in Charlotte. It's no different than what it was like when we were here year one. I mean, there's a rich history here of success back in the day, and obviously people are starving for that. And, you know, we're just trying to go out every night and play really hard and connected and edgy and chippy and physical and whatever descriptive words you want to use it. But that's, you know, the way that we want to play, and the guys have done a really good job embracing that. But like I said, good. I mean, I love it. I mean, this is why you do this. If you don't want to do it, then go play pickup at the YMCA on Sunday morning. Like, you're not always going to succeed, and it's okay. Like I tell the guys that. Like, it's okay. There is an expectation, a responsibility to perform, and you know, I trust that you're trying to do your best every day. And sometimes it just doesn't work for you, and that's okay with that. Like, you can still grow under those circumstances, and grow losing games and grow winning games, and that's what we talk about a lot. You know, because no one's winning a championship today, all right? And we're just trying to grow to peak at the right time at the end of the season, and try and play the best basketball that this team can play. Because sometimes some teams play unbelievable ball in the middle part of the season and then drop off at the end, and it was a great season, but we're trying to peak at the right time, and that's the goal, and that's what we're trying to achieve every day.
I'll throw this out to both of you. 3 of the next 4 games are here at Halton. What kind of a difference can the home crowd and the home court make for you?
I mean, a lot. I mean, you know, this place is historically difficult to win in, and we got to do our part, and the crowd, you know, will let us know that too, both ways. You know, they're very honest and have high expectations. Great. I say good. That's how I put it. And but yeah, it can be an unbelievable atmosphere in here, and they really get behind you, and they have, and you know, they do appreciate the way that we try and play, and we've got to continue to do that. But yeah, a huge advantage, and we're going to see some really good teams coming here, and I know that's really fun for them too, and it's fun for the guys, and yeah. But to your question, it's really important, the support that we get, and get out here and let's get after it.
Yeah, I think the home crowd plays a big part in just the intensity of the game and making the other team feel that pressure that we try to make them feel by, you know, pressing full court and picking up our man, like at the, you know, just everything that we try to buy into. I feel like the crowd plays a big part in that, and so these next 2 games are really, like, they're big, and I really want to play them here. So I'm glad we get to play them here, and I feel like if we win these next 2 games, I feel like we'll put everybody on notice.
DJ, this is a question for you. Against UTSA, you played a season-high 32 minutes, and then against Rice, you even topped that even further by playing a season-high 36. So, and you mentioned, you know, not playing basketball last year. So from a fitness and a physical standpoint, just how are you feeling, especially compared to the beginning of the season?
I feel much better. You know, I appreciate Morgan for working with me while she was here, and Pat as well for just pushing me on a day-to-day basis. And, you know, that's just a testament to my faith, and, you know, just me just working hard. Like, a lot of people like to say, like, they don't see what happens behind the scenes. They don't see how much weight I've lost or what I've done on a day-to-day basis. They just see, like, the results. So, like, here we preach process over results. So if you just do the right thing on a day-to-day basis, you'll get the results you want. So, yeah.
And then
I mean, DJ's made a massive improvement from when he was here day one. And when I've coached someone very similar to him back in Australia. And when you're a big guy like him and you get big, it's really, really hard to get back in shape, and it's not real fun, and it can get very stressful, and because at the end of the day we know that he's a very important part of what we're about, but ultimately just for his own overall health, for me, he's not going to live a productive life not being in shape, and as we all are. We all know that. So, he needs to be an elite athlete at the same time. So, yeah, we've kicked his ass. Trust me. And he's had some tough days, but that's why you do it too, because that's our job, to kind of push some buttons and do things and make you do some things you don't really kind of want to do. Eat well, get in the weight room, work that little bit harder at practice every day, and he's got a lot better with that as the season's gone on, and I think you can see that with the production of his plays improved, but he'll still get his ass kicked every day till the very last day. So, as will every guy. There's high expectations to perform. Just like you said, just day to day. Like, it's got to be hard every day. And then it comes to the game, and it's like, well, we've done this. So, yeah, no different for DJ.
another question is, Coach, you talked about learning how to win, right? So in this 4-game winning streak, you beat a ranked team in FAU. Against Rice, you come back down 20, and then against UTSA, your leading scorer scored 2 points, and you were out rebounded 20 and still never trailed. Right. So you're finding different ways to win. What's the confidence level for the team and for you as well?
Well, it's just surprising what you can do when no one takes credit. Guys need to take. Guys need to understand that this is a team. This isn't tennis or golf or an individual sport. This is a team sport that everybody's hugely vital to have success. And different guys will perform on different nights, just the way that the game's typically played. When your stars, when your go-to guys, have off nights, well, you need the other guys to step up, and because that happens to the best. It does in any sport, and I think we've learned that if we play really tough and physical and chippy and defend and block out and crash the glass and do all that real hard stuff, you can be in games. You can be in games. You can stay competitive in games. And then it gets back to, we've lost some close ones that we've been very frustrated about. But we've grown and learned from those experiences, which, you guys have heard me talk about this before, past experience and shared experiences together you can lean back on and go, well, hey, we did that. We kind of came up a little short, but we just do this a little bit better. We can get this next one. And, we've found different ways to win some games. We've found some ways to lose some games too, which you learn from. But, it's been great for the guys that we've been able to have some success in different ways, because that stuff's important as your season moves forward.
Any more questions?
Well, Coach, how are you feeling? Are you feeling any better?
Not really. It's it's been a tough it's been a tough month for all of us. You know, there's been a lot of sickness and guys missing practice and games and injury and yeah, I had a patch there definitely over that SMU and next game here at home. That was rough. It got me good. Just got to find a way to battle through. You know, like, if I'm preaching it to these guys, I got to do the same, and just find a way to battle through and show some toughness and grind away.
Well, looking at North Texas, obviously the other night we have seen what they can do with the game ending within seconds. How important is it for you guys to get off to a fast start tomorrow?
Go.
I think if we just, it's all about the physicality because they're a physical team. They like the offensive rebound like SMU, and we understand like what it's like to play against a physical team. And if you don't come out matching or better than their physicality, then they're just going to push you and box you out and push you around all night. And we want to. It's not about getting off to a fast start per se. It's more about getting off to a physical start, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'd second that. I agree. I'm not sure that they'll allow us to get off to a fast start. They're that type of team, and they're very good. They've been, in my opinion, the best team in Conference USA. Consistently over the time we've been here, and now they're obviously in the league with us. And same thing, deliberate offensively, very disciplined and tough defensively, and yeah, it's going to take a lot of discipline at crucial moments, and you know, deal with the physicality and the competitiveness. I mean, it should be a great game. It should be pretty fiery and chippy and super competitive, and let's get both teams out there. Let's get after it.
For Deshaun, every time I watch you, I feel like you're so locked in to the game. Will you just talk about your style of play and how you want to execute tomorrow?
I just play with an immense sense of passion and gratefulness to just be back on the basketball court. Like, I know what it's like to be taken away from the game, and I know what it's like to take the game for granted. So I feel like with my previous experience of not being able to play and really just sitting there watching my team and not being able to help them. Like last year, I remember this is an experience I'll never forget. I remember we played Arizona. Yeah, I was at Arizona, and we ended up beating them. But like, there was a point in the game where I really felt like I could help my team, like because they were getting so many offensive rebounds and scoring so many points in the paint. I felt like I could have been a presence in that game, and I just had to sit back and realize, like, you know, whenever I am able to play again, I'm gonna go out and just play with all the passion and give everything I got every night. So that's what I'm trying to bring.
And then for Coach, obviously we talked about a couple injuries, but Lukai with his ankle, and then Dalen Berry also had a couple of injuries. What's their status, and will they be available for tomorrow?
Yeah, everybody will be available, but like every team, probably battling through some, you know, bumps and bruises, and work through that to get back to health. And yeah, we've had to kind of do a lot of that the last month. But that's what's exciting for us, is that we know we're not fully healthy and haven't been for a month and had guys in and out, and that messes with your rhythm a little bit, and just your continuity of what you're doing. And so to be able to do what we've done has been impressive, and but it only gets harder as the season moves on. It gets harder. It becomes a little bit more desperate and chippy, and the pointy ends, you know, getting sharper. So yeah, it's the fun time.
And as it continues to get harder, and as you're on this winning streak, that adds a ton of more pressure. How do you continue to take emotions out of the game so it doesn't affect their level of play?
Well, you know, I want them to play with emotion. I just don't want them to be emotional, you know, and because that's our identity. Like, we're going to be that. Like, we're as we say, we're going to step to it, you know, and you know, like, we'll throw punches and you'll throw punches, and we'll battle and you'll battle, and let's see what happens at the end. And just play to the last second and have a sense of pride on how you've approached the game, and respected the game and respected competition. Because that's what's fun to me. Like, just compete. Is you can walk off the floor and, you know, a scoreboard's not in your favour, but you can have an unbelievable sense of pride in how you played and competed, and that's what we want to do every time we play the game. And so, you know, what we've done, like, okay, whatever. It's yesterday we talked about, you know, practice is going to be a little bit shorter these days, but we've got to be really locked in and intentful and aggressive and get after each other and get chippy at practice and have fun doing that, and then walk back in the locker room and have a lot of fun, you know. But when we get out there on the floor, like we will be today, same thing. Like, get after it, man. Like, I'm trying to kick your ass, and he's trying to kick mine, and that's how we grow and get better as a team. So, yeah, that's how we're trying to approach it, and because all that outside noise, whatever, you know, it's about what's in our huddle, and I don't care what's on the outside huddle. I don't care about anybody in that sense. I care about our huddle and what's inside our huddle and how we deal with the things that we need to deal with. And there's always things to deal with, but that's what it's meant to be. It's about growing as a team and learning from some things, because, you know, we can learn from some failure, which is very easy to critique, but it's learning from success, because there's still a lot of things that you don't do great. You know, we can reflect back on the last 2 games and go, "Oof," you know, we're not going to get away with that all the time. So we'll just keep growing in that space.
Yeah, and just to add on, we know it's only going to get harder from here. Like, pretty much play the best team in the conference tomorrow, and then we play UAB, who are also no slouches, and Tulane, who, again, no slouch. So we have a pretty hard schedule coming up for just pretty much the next month and a half. So we just need to lock in on what we do well and continue to play that smothering defense that teams really don't like to play against.
Coach, both of you guys have talked about this game tomorrow. Just final message to the fans. I mean, you said they like the physicality, the chippy games, the top 7 guys coming in.
Yeah, man, just hop on the train, man. Like, you know, bring it. Like, we'll bring it. You help us bring it. You know, be passionate but supportive. You know, like, we're out there battling, and like, we know things always don't go your way as much as you'd love them to. But be with us. Let's get after it. Just have a great experience, man. Being part of a sporting event. That's what it's about. That's what I enjoy going to sporting events, is, you know, seeing the pride and passion that those teams try and play with, and, you know, our guys do a good job of that, and they've got to continue to do that, because it's hard to do, you know, every day. It's mentally and emotionally, you know, it is draining, taxing, and takes a lot of strength to do it. So, you know, the supporters can really help us in that space.
Just know we're going to bring the intensity. Just know that, if anything, win, lose, or draw, we're going to bring some intensity. So it's my message.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, DJ. That concludes today's men's basketball press conference.